we got big news.
The metaverse is coming.
The metaverse. It's here.
Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard for $69 billion in cash. Can you imagine having $69 billion in cash on your balance sheet?
Or being able to part with it and still be a healthy company.
Microsoft. So I have visited Microsoft's campus in Redmond. Have you?
No.
It's like a fucking city. It is massive. Like Microsoft is a mammoth operation with an army of people. Just as far as the eye can see in buildings, whatever building you're in, there's another building. Whatever campus you're on, there's another campus. Like it dominates that entire, area, region. There was a time when Microsoft once declared a special dividend, and it literally like increased the size of the local economy by 15% or
That
whatever.
checks out.
Like everyone just ran and just like bought a house or whatever. Like it was like a one time, like they just said everyone who owns Microsoft stock, we're gonna just like give you whatever it was.
What's the budget of New York City? $100 billion?
Yeah, give or take.
In that range, right?
Yeah.
So they essentially bought a company for 70% of the budget in New York City, just for some for some scale here of how big Microsoft is. They're their own country, I think.
So they decided to throw down to the tune of whatever, 69 billion for Activision Blizzard. And I have direct experience with Activision Blizzard. Do you, Zach? Have you played?
I've played
World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft.
Call of Duty. That's Activision, isn't it?
I think it is Activision. I mean, Activision is one of the biggest publishers. You can look that up. So it's called Activision Blizzard because they bought Blizzard, which made the games I just named.
Yep. I've played Candy Crush and I've played Call of Duty.
Oh, they own Candy Crush. Oh, yeah. So they own a lot. They're one of the big daddies in gaming, where there were three big ones once upon a time. It was EA, Activision, and Take-Two, which made Grand Theft Auto. Now, Activision Blizzard becoming part of Microsoft. There's so much heft. I have to say that I loved this move for Microsoft.
Okay.
That if you're going to try and compete in the metaverse, owning maybe the biggest gaming company, in addition to what you already have with Xbox.
They own Halo, right?
Yeah, the publisher of Halo. Which they bought for a lower amount. It's like I think $7 billion, not that long ago. So this is a massive move. It's one of those things where it's like a singular target. It's like there's not another Activision Blizzard,
right?
I love this move for them. It was a 25% premium over what Activision's stock was trading at. It reminds me a little bit of Microsoft buying LinkedIn a while ago. For maybe I think it was like 26 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn's also a singular property where like there's not another LinkedIn, so they said let's do it. If you think about people interacting virtually, gaming's the biggest opportunity. Something like LinkedIn might be top 5 though, because you're there and you're trying to access professional networks and guidance and the rest of it. Now, what are the downsides of this deal? What it made me think of is that the small need not apply at this point. You know what I mean? Like if you imagine video game publishing as this like kind of wild westy industry, and then some like new publisher can come and make a hit game.
Right.
You can pretty much toss that shit out the window. It's like, it's like who's going to be able to compete with the resources of these megacorps?
Or if you did, they'd probably just gobble you up, right? Like before.
Yeah, if you ever made a real hit, like a Candy Crush or whatnot, then they'd gobble you up.
Right.
Take-Two just bought Zynga as well, so this space is consolidating quick. Zynga owned Farmville.
Oh yeah.
And, Draw with Friends. In
the early days, I was trying to gamify suit up competitions, and Zynga was one of the companies we were having conversations with. It's hard to. As we're learning with remote schools, the kids don't have the.
Yeah, you know the big granddaddy player in the space that a lot of people might not have heard of.
No.
Roblox.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Roblox, like based upon.
I think they're a little overvalued now, but they are.
Well,
they might be the future.
They're valued to the moon because who the heck knows what goes on. But I gotta say, if you use my kids as any indicator,
proxy,
like Roblox could be valued at infinite because like that is their metaverse.
Yeah.
Wait, we should look up Roblox's freaking valuation because that's the move.
I was debating. Carly and I were debating like buying this bad boy 44 billion market cap, trading at $75.
Can you look at up Facebook/Meta's market cap?
900 billion.
Yeah. So if you're Facebook/Meta and you see what's going on, like you think, can we get 110 billion together to buy Roblox or something like that? And you don't have that kind of cash on hand, but you can finance, you can do a stock for stock. So I think that's the way this world is going. And so the mega consolidation is not a great look. That there are a lot of dynamics in tech that end up guiding you towards a handful of mega companies. And I made this point of the debate stage a while ago. It's like, how many social networks do you want? Like, you want one for your personal and one for professional, and that's it.
Yep. No one wants to use Bing.
Yeah. How many search engines do you want? One. How many navigation apps do you want? One. Like, you just want one thing. And so imagining that you're going to have, 7 competitors or whatnot makes zero sense in a lot of these industries. And that's true of the metaverse too. How many metaverses do you want to log into? One. Like, I want to go where the people are, where the things are, where the cool shit is. So you're trying to figure out who actually owns the metaverse. What does it look like? One very significant play would be, you know what it is? Freaking StarCraft, Warcraft, Candy Crush, like all that stuff, like Microsoft's bet. Another bet, which, by the way, this bet, again, according to what's going on in my household, Roblox would be a very, very, very big bet. I'm actually going to call it right now. Facebook buys Roblox. Or
it's going to be a bidding war. Like, you're going to
Alphabet buys Roblox.
Google, I was going to say Alphabet or Apple.
Alphabet. Oh, Apple buys Roblox.
I was saying, like, these guys are all going to compete for it. And Roblox may say, F you, I'm going to be bigger than you. That's like the best hope to dethroning the big four, right?
So here's one of the problems if you're like the Roblox of the world.
You have to interact with them, right?
Oh, no. This is the problem actually in companies writ large. So let's say Roblox is a public company, which it is. I don't know if they have those special Zuckerberg provisions where the founder can say F you to everyone and just do what they want. If they're a normal public company, then you have a board that has a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders to consider whatever's going to maximize the value. So if Apple comes in and says, hey, Roblox, here's a 30% premium to your current, by the way, crazy, hyped up, overvalued share price, then the shareholders, the board members have to consider and take it to the shareholders. You can't just say F you, we're gonna keep on kicking ass. You have to at least consider it. So I don't know the ins and outs of Roblox's internal governance, but on the flip side, if you're Roblox and you look at it, it's like are you going to take over the world? Maybe. One of the things that happens to a lot of companies though is, and this is the Activision Blizzard's rationale for selling, is that they looked up and said, hey, how are we going to be able to compete ourselves at the highest level to build the metaverse? It's like, what might help? A parent company with tens of billions of extra money lying around, and like a giant business platform and a giant this and a giant that. So if you're Roblox, you look up and be like, hey, you know what might help? Like a giant $1 trillion parent company with devices in everyone's hands and like a set-top box and in the form of Apple.
My issue, my gut, without being, I don't think anyone's technically an expert in the metaverse. It's not built yet. But my gut instinct on the metaverse is that the problem is someone has to build it and own it, and then we all have to rent or buy from it, right? And if you're talking about building a whole new world, we're at the explorer phase, right? Where we're traversing around new areas and either building it, like we're finding areas that, if it's planet Earth, people are finding new areas, claiming them as their own, stealing them, and then selling them for profit, right? In this world, Facebook is going to build said real estate and then sell them for profit. And why does Facebook get to do that? Because
Amazon buys Roblox.
But why does Amazon get to do that? It's going to be the big four. It's Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, gets big five.
One of them's going to go for Roblox.
For sure. I don't know if that's a good thing, right? Where we all have to buy from Zuckerberg.
So this again is the concern, and it's been happening in tech for years and years and years. Like, you just have this mega consolidation happening. $1 trillion companies. If I start a new tech startup and I say, hey, I'm going to be the next Google, like
laughed out of the room.
Yeah, laughed out of the room.
Yeah.
But if you say, hey, Google's going to buy me for $100 million, be like,
great idea.
I'm listening. And then, by the way, if you fail, Google buys you for tens of millions just for the talent.
Half the time, yes.
Yeah. So
My buddy worked at one of those.
Yeah.
And you got a job at Google.
It's like the show Silicon Valley, where like you reach a certain scale, it becomes arbitrary. You're playing with what Tim O'Reilly calls super money, and so like it's almost impossible to compete with super money. That the laws of business physics stop applying. I'm a former small private company operator. Like and you know this about me. I'm really acutely attuned to the laws of business physics. It's like, hey, we gotta watch what we spend and try and grow into it and do all this stuff. But like after you achieve orbit or liftoff, then like none of that stuff applies to you anymore.
So to your point, a lot of these things we use every day are getting consolidated, right, into these big tech companies. But there's still like these small businesses that Google doesn't touch, Facebook they don't touch because they really can't. Where it's like your nail salons and your barber shops and your law firms and investment banking a bit.
They still touch them, but go on.
Well, yeah, but you can have a small consulting business or XYZ. But I'm assuming in the metaverse, it just all goes through Facebook, right? It just all goes.
Well, it's probably similar where you can set something up and then
everything,
and then they just take a toll.
They take a toll. This is a dream.
This is an exchange rate, man. You had to like exchange
living the dream
dollars for like metabucks or whatever.